Right. Now, over the Christmas period, the United States, in coordination with Nigerian authorities, launched precision strikes against ISWAP, the militants in northwest Nigeria's Sokoto Bauni forest region, a move that both governments say will weaken extremist capability, but which has also prompted public confusion and debate over justification, sovereignty, and long-term effectiveness. How do you assess this action in the fight against terrorism in Nigeria?
I'm very happy that this has happened. Um, I hear a lot of Nigerians say, look, if you cannot defeat these people and they continue to constitute such a big threat to us as a people, why don't you seek help? I've had even former President Olusegun Obasanjo say that. I've had many Nigerians challenge the government to seek help. If I need to crush an enemy and someone offers to help me do it, and that person will agree that he will not unilaterally take that decision, because all along and on the different programs where I've appeared, I have always said that I do not see anything wrong in America coming to help us defeat the bandits and the terrorists in our country. What I would oppose is a unilateral decision to launch strikes in our country. But where both countries agree to work together, it is a good deal for me. It is perfect for me. President Jonathan brought in Chadian troops to help us defeat Boko Haram in Borno State. And those Chadian troops, as well as military contractors that we called mercenaries, came into Nigeria armed with sophisticated weapons. The military contractors, as I like to call them, and not mercenaries, I don't like to call them mercenaries, helped us to achieve tremendous, to do significant damage to Boko Haram, enabling us to conduct elections in those areas. 7 local governments in Adamawa State, 2 local governments in Yobe, and not less than 17 to 20 local governments in Borno State. These areas were held by Boko Haram. They even started conducting their own government after declaring Gwoza in southern Borno the capital of their own new country, so to say. Chadian troops were deployed to northern Borno, places like Dikwa, and they did a tremendous job. Many of them lost their lives. I still have pictures of Chadian troops who were given state burial in their country. They laid down their lives for Nigeria to be safe, for us to be able to conduct the 2015 elections. Nigerian troops have also gone to keep the peace in several countries of the world, like Angola, like Lebanon, the United Nations Interim Force in Lebanon. Even my late uncle was part of the Nigerian soldiers who went to Lebanon to fight. So we have always assisted other countries to create stability, to create calm. So if America comes into our country without putting boots on ground, launching Tomahawk missiles into areas believed to be inhabited by terrorists who are terrorizing our people. I have no reason in the world to go against it, especially when they had conversations with Nigerian authorities. Marco Rubio spoke with our Minister of Foreign Affairs for 19 minutes in the first instance. Later, he spoke with him for 5 minutes, trying to get the government to support their efforts to launch this attack. And Nigerian armed forces provided intelligence for that mission. So when both countries are working together and a country didn't just get up without the permission of another country, without the knowledge of another country to go and launch attack on the enemies of that country, there is no way I can oppose it, especially when I know that the areas that they attacked, that part of Sokoto State, civilians have come under attack so many times. Lakurawa have been consistently causing trouble in parts of Sokoto and Kebbi State. And the Lakurawas, who became very active in Nigeria in 2024 after initially leaving the scene, are known to have links to ISIS because they originate from Mali. So they are known to have links to ISIS. So I overwhelmingly support the strikes launched by the Americans, and I'll be happy to see more of such strikes. There are many Nigerians who are happy because they believe, well, if our government cannot get the job done and somebody has offered to help, there are many ways by which you can help. You can provide equipment, you can provide intelligence, and you can even physically help by providing support for the armed forces of our country. So they've chosen now to launch the attacks. There is no civilian casualty as far as we are concerned, no record of civilian casualties. One of the two attacks took place in Jabo, where the people have discovered unexploded ordnance in a cassava farm. Jabo is not particularly a threat. Jabo is not, banditry is not rampant in Jabo, but bandits are known to have gone to Jabo on a number of occasions to kidnap farmers while they are harvesting their crops. The other place that they attacked is Tangaza, which is along Ilela Road, part of Sokoto North or Sokoto Central. Insecurity is a big problem along that border town in the area because that place is along the border with Niger Republic, and Nigerian troops have a forward operation base in a place called Mashalashi. So in Tangaza and Gudu, Lakurawa have found a home for so long. You know, as I said earlier, they came from Niger Republic, but they are in our country. Initially, the Lakurawas wanted us to believe that they have come to reform Islam in the country. They would, if your hair is bushy, they will cut it and tell you to keep a beard, you know. So they were kind of promoting, in their view, pure Islam, but invariably they reverted to cattle rustling, and in 2024 they became a full-blown terrorist group, killing our people. The other day, the Lakurawas killed immigration officers. They are known to have killed even customs men, you know. So that area, that Tangaza, is a place where the Lakurawas had their base, and it is also located close to some communities like Siname, Gudu, Lela. Sometimes they come to Benji, and they are very, very active in Kebbi State, in places like Augie, Arewa, some parts of Arugungu. So just the extreme end of Arugungu. They are also known to have killed people in Bagudu, in Kebbi State. So generally, many people are happy because these guys had made life difficult for our people in those areas. Although I will admit that Jabo is very peaceful. She has a border with Shagari local government, where banditry is very rampant. And then Tureta, there's a forest that leads all the way to Briningwari, down Sadao, in Zamfara State. Remember, Jabo also shares a border with Gumi and Anka and Bukuyum in Zamfara. And these three local governments that Jabo shares a border with, there is rampant banditry. In fact, we are told that the terrorists who kidnapped those cougars in Maga in Kebbi State were taken to a forest in Zamfara State, probably down Sadao Forest. So you can understand why this attack had to happen. Many people say, oh, why Sokoto, the first instance? They forget that in at least 12 local government areas of Sokoto State, banditry is very rampant. So many people have lost their lives. Don't also forget that Sokoto State was where American troops had to come in, American paratroopers had to come in to rescue an American who was kidnapped, you know, and taken to part of Sokoto State. That was some years back. Don't also forget that Deborah, the young girl who was accused of blasphemy, was also killed in Sokoto State. So we need to understand why they deemed it fit to begin with Sokoto State. So Sokoto is just like Katsina State in terms of rampant banditry. Even Bello Tuji is known to have bases in parts of Sokoto State. Bello Tuji is from Shinkafi local government area of Zamfara State, but is very active in both Sokoto and Zamfara State, and he has bases in Sokoto State. So arguing that, oh, it shouldn't have started with Sokoto and all that, for me, is pure rubbish. The people, the attacking forces reserve the right to catch the enemy by surprise, and they reserve the right to start from wherever they deem fit.
Interesting stuff. A recent news, coming from the federal government when the president, met with the leadership of Christian Association of Nigeria. Let me just bring you here. He said that Nigeria has approached Turkey for assistance to strengthen our security capacity, especially around equipment and technical support. From your perspective, Bikil, what exactly does that kind of assistance mean, from Turkey? What does it mean in practical terms? How does it change Nigeria's current security strategy, especially with their collaboration with the United States?
No, it doesn't change anything. Sometimes when you want the grade A weapons from the Americans, you can wait for up to 4 years because they have other orders. I remember when India asked for Apache helicopters, which is seen as one of the best ground attack helicopters in the world. For about 4 or 5 years, the Indians were waiting. So we are in a desperate situation. If we continue to wait, the weapons are not going to come in good time. We can approach another country to see whether their own weapons can come faster than the weapons of the Americans. Nigeria also has that kind of relationship with Pakistan. The F-7 fighter jet was bought from Pakistan, and we are happy to have it inducted into our inventory of air platforms. So this is the thing. I'm sure that's just like a stopgap measure. We've also bought helicopters from Italy. We bought reconnaissance airplanes from Italy. So we are shopping everywhere across the globe to see where we can get the kind of weapons that can help us defeat the enemy. Let me quickly pick Biononogas call. Hello, sir. I'm on issues with Jide, sir. Yes, on issues with Jide. Okay. Okay.
Government.
Okay.
It's quite interesting. You're making us understand the issues that are going on around the strikes. Let me take some comments. Bikio, are you with us now?
Yes.
Awesome. Amina Bello is saying that if the federal government invites Saudi Arabia or any Islamic bloc under the framing of saving Muslims, that immediately reframes Nigeria's security crisis from a national problem into a religious one. And that's extremely dangerous. Daniel Okoje is saying, he's a security analyst, saying security cooperation is normal, but once you brand it as Muslim countries coming to save Muslims, you are no longer fighting terrorism. Let me take other comments. We have Sadiq Lawal saying, if the strikes really took out terrorist leaders and saved lives, then it's a positive development. What matters to people in the north is that attacks stop. If Naya Okore says any foreign military action on Nigerian soil should worry us, even if the intention is good, we must ask who authorized it and under what legal framework. Tunde Adebayo says it shows how weak Nigeria's security capacity still is, that foreign powers are the ones striking targets. Nelson Samuel rather, is saying, I want to believe that armed forces of Nigeria has moved into that bombed area in Sokoto to do the needful. Those opposing the joint military action should go to court and stop rabble-rousing around. Abdulrahman Sulaiman says, is it Abdul Sulli from Mina? Mistro, happy Christmas to you. The place is called Yabo and not Jabo, which I heard you pronounce. Okay. At Lautel says, Mr. Jide, compliment of the season to you and all TBC workers. TBC staff, you should say. Congratulations on your new task. I wish you all the best. May God continue to protect and guide you. This person is asking question. Let me quickly take the question. I think I took it as a comment earlier. Some are concerned about they're saying that they are not against the fact that US has come to save Nigeria. I saw the question somewhere, but the question is, let me just quickly paraphrase. And that US now coming under the guise of coming to save Christians, whereas I've seen you in your, they've seen you in analysis that it is not only Christians that have been killed, Muslims, even non-believers have been killed. So what if Saudi Arabia or other Islamic bloc are now invited under the guise of saying that they want to come and save Muslim? Doesn't that, portray, I mean, doesn't that divide Nigeria along religious lines, which we are running away from? People are concerned about we want to come and save Christian, tag by the Americas, interference.
Oh, it's not the way this one is now. We are working together. People must bear that in mind. We are working together. This attack was not unilateral. President Tinubu gave directive, gave his permission for this to happen. So it's not, and I'm very, very happy that this, you cannot say, okay, they came to Sokoto to help Christians. You understand? If they exterminate the Lakurawas in that area, the greatest beneficiaries will be the Muslims, because they are an overwhelming majority in that place. And when people say, why not? The biggest crisis that we have that has to do with security is in northern Nigeria. So what are we talking about? When Chibok girls were taken away, it happened in northern Nigeria, but it was an embarrassment and a big shame to all of us. So the biggest security crisis that we have in our country is happening in northern Nigeria. So there should even be an urgency to deal with that problem in northern Nigeria. And if we defeat insecurity in northern Nigeria, the biggest beneficiaries will be Muslims, not Christians. Let's stop kidding ourselves and forget about this religious tag to this thing. This defeating Lakurawa in Sokoto, in Kebbi, and other places where they are present is necessary. And when it does happen, the greatest beneficiaries will not be Christians, because they are not in majority in that area. The biggest victims of banditry today are Northerners, and they are Muslim. We see bandits attack even mosque to kidnap people. They've even set mosques ablaze. Even during the holy month of Ramadan, they were still picking people. In northern Nigeria, they were still picking people. So the argument about Trump may be talking about that, but we know, and we have said before, that focus should be on the generality of Nigerians, not people from a particular religion. This insecurity that we face is a national shame, is a national concern. And when terrorists operate, they don't ask for your faith. They don't ask you whether you are a Muslim or not. When bandits operate the way they do, when they kidnap people, they don't set free those who are Christian or those who are Muslim. So as sensible Nigerians, we should be focused on how we will defeat insecurity, how we can encourage our government to defeat security and get into partnerships that can help us achieve that aim. When we achieve that aim, people will be able to travel freely on our highways. People will be able to go to their farms without fear. Because those who attack these farms don't want to know whether you are a Muslim or you are a Christian. So we should not divide ourselves when it comes to security. We should not politicize security. We should not divide ourselves along religious lines when we are talking insecurity. If Nigeria is safer today, we all benefit, irrespective of our religious inclinations.
Great. I believe that answers that to for rather those who are really concerned about the framing and the danger it actually poses to our unity. You've actually done justice, to that, I believe. Let's change tack by looking at the other topic. The People's Democratic Party in Nigeria is in deep internal turbulence with rival factions led by